What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me on D's analysis. We're going to be looking at MSTR today. We had a nice day today. The other day we spoke about we were actually saying on the weekly, we were saying the ideal scenario would be a close above this wick. Obviously, we're still only on the first day of the week, but if we can continue this momentum to the upside, where I was saying the ultimate bull case would be closing, at least 422 and ideally 430, somewhere in that region, 422 to 430. That's going to be the best case scenario for the weekly close. But a good area would be above this wick. I was saying to fill this candle, but it looks like we didn't even retest this zone because I guess we had our retest already. And we're already playing above this wick. So on the daily, we're in a good spot because we already closed above this wick and we're already above this right here. So we're kind of in this gap already. So let's see if we fill it. What I don't want to see I don't want to see us fill this gap and then push back down and it turns into a wick for the next day. Now, if we can blow right through here and get a daily close back above here, then things are going to be really looking good for the end of the week. But this was a very good start to the week. Pretty much as good as it could start. So we're looking really good right now. Excited for what's to come, but we're not even close to getting out of the woods. This is just the beginning. We had a nice little, drop consolidation. MSTR performed how it should have today. So that's nice to see. You want to see it, outperforming Bitcoin. That's the whole reason why we're in this, right? And when we take a look on the monthly, we're looking good. Still got the bounce off. Let's see if we can fill this entire wick. That would be crazy. We still have 20 days, so it very well could happen. So there's a good chance that it could happen if we catch the momentum. But it's crazy though, because we had such a good day today, but the momentum and the volume on MSTR is still down. It's not even it's not like breaking what our average is right now. So it's interesting that we had such a good day with our standard volume. Maybe even, I think it was a little bit less than, I think it was 2 million less than our normal trading volume. If we can start ramping up to the 25, 30s, that's when you have a good day like this and Bitcoin has a good day and MSTR is going to be pulling some crazy numbers. You're talking like 10, 12% in a day. That's when stuff starts getting really fun. And what's also helping is MSTR issuing the ATMs through Strike, Strife, Stride, those instruments. So that's helping relieve some pressure off of MSTR to the downside. So that's going to allow MSTR to push upward. We'll see where it takes us though. On the SMAs, we're still in the same position, holding above the 20-week SMA. But it looks like it's starting to curl up a little bit, which is a nice little sign. And a really good sign is this one right here, closing back above that 20-day, which is what we just got right now. So let's see where we open tomorrow. We're currently up to 396 in after hours because Bitcoin pushed to 110. So let's see where we open tomorrow. If we open even, if we open up, let's see if we get a retest of this 20-day SMA. That 20-day SMA is going to coincide with the bottom of this golden zone that we've been talking about forever. I'm tired of this golden zone. I'm ready to break through this thing. On the 4-hour, we closed, I don't even know if that's above it. That's so close, I can't even tell. I'm going to just say it's above it, and the color flipped. So yeah, we closed above it on the 4-hour, the 50 moving average on the 4-hour. So that's another bullish sign right there. Let's see if we fill this gap and we can make it to the top. That would be amazing. This was definitely a good start to the week. Let's hope we can continue the momentum though. We do have an upward sloping trend line established. Looks like we got our bounce off of it. We're riding it and it looks like we're trying to make our move up. Let's see if we can get a clean move to the top of this at 66.87 and eventually to the 70 target to get that overbought momentum to the upside. And here it looks like we're getting that double bottom that we spoke about on the daily, as you can see here. So let's see if we can get that move going up. That would be ideal. We broke above this yellow moving average, and now it looks like we're starting to gain a little bit of momentum, but nothing too crazy yet. On the weekly MACD, we're still looking good. Higher highs, higher lows, creating a mini bull flag, and it looks like it's starting to curl up. And it looks like the volume is no longer going down. It's kind of just trending sideways. So I would imagine that the next move could potentially be upward. And on the daily MACD, we actually have our curl going on now. So this thing is heading upwards. Hopefully we can continue that momentum and we can get the green flip. On the 4-hour MACD, we're looking good. We're creating that bull flag and higher highs, higher lows. We just broke this local high right here. We're pushing up higher. We're getting to that dotted line of that 0 point, and we're pushing back into bullish territory. And you can see the momentum dwindle down, and now it's starting to ramp back up. So we'll see where things take us from here on the MACD. Here on the weekly, when you look at the EMA, this is the 8 EMA. You can see we've been hugging it this entire time. We broke out of it, we pulled back to it, and it held a support in confluence with this support and resistance level, and now we're pushing off of it. So we're going to be sandwiched between a lot of support underneath us, and we still have this golden zone. But I feel like there's more support underneath price than there is above price. So I think that's a very good sign. I think the odds of us breaking this golden zone are starting to increase as we continue to increase our power underneath price right here. And on the daily, you can see we fell underneath it and we reclaimed it, and now we're pushing up higher as well. Last time we broke above it, we got a pretty solid move from April 11th to here. We started off, around 280 or 299, and we made it all the way up to that 430 mark. On the monthly EMA, you can see the 8-month EMA. We've had 3 bounces off of it. We're pushing up higher, and it's starting to catch up to price a little bit, but we still have a pretty decent gap between it. As you can see, we've done this before where we've bounced off of it, had a significant move, kind of trended sideways, met up with it again, and then continued up higher. So let's see where things take us. Let's see if we continue sideways or if we actually begin to take off and we meet the EMA later on. Here on the monthly, Bitcoin's looking good. We're pushing towards that all-time high at 112. We're sitting at 110 right now, 110, 230. Our next level of resistance, like I spoke about prior, is going to be this upward sloping trend line. So currently, if we were to go straight up from here, it's going to be around 116. And if it were to happen next month, then you're talking about, 117, 118. So I think once we can break above that, get a solid close, retest, and push up higher, we can see some impressive things happening. Here on the weekly, this was a beautiful setup right here. We broke above it, retested this thing multiple times, and we absolutely are breaking through now. The fact that we held that so well was impressive. And we really haven't even retested the top that much. We had 1 retest, 2, and that was it. This is the 3rd one. Here we had 1, 2, 3, 4 retests. So we're finally getting our 3rd retest to the upside. Let's see how strong this resistance is. Hopefully price can shoot right through here and break through and make it to this upward sloping trend line. And on the daily, we have 1 hour until this closes. It would be amazing if we could close at 111 and close above this wick. That's going to increase our odds of touching all-time highs within, I would say, this week, if we could get this close up here. Let's see if we get rejection or if we fall back into this, this range, or if we can close back above it. If we close above it, now we're talking about potentially getting a retest. It doesn't have to retest. It can continue running up, but more than likely getting a retest and now breaking that 112 level and making it to the top here. But right now, this is looking extremely good. We got a nice bottoming pattern pushing upward. This is looking very, very nice. It looks like that head and shoulders that we had ended up being a fake out, which is awesome. I'm super glad to know that it wasn't going to be the real thing. It definitely looked like it was potentially going to play out depending on economic data and all that kind of information. Looks like we turned around, broke out of this downward sloping trend line, and got a nice breakout. We drew this trend line yesterday in yesterday's video and said that we broke out. I wasn't sure if we were going to continue for a deeper retest or break out from this point, but looks like we did right here. Looks good though. We're above our 20-day by a pretty good margin. Let's see if we can continue the momentum to the upside. The last time we broke above our 20-day, it was a pretty significant move to the upside. As you can see, from the 20-day, we pushed up 35%. Not saying this is going to happen, but from that breakout point, let me double check. Yeah, so 34, 35. So if we go from this point here, I have to pull this down a little bit, but if we were to break and go up, we'll just say 30%. 30% takes us to about 140K roughly, and 35% takes us to about 145K. So if we were to repeat the same thing, we could be sitting at 135 to 145K if we get a similar move to this. But if we get a more explosive move, then things could get even crazier. But right now, things are looking pretty awesome though. And on the 4-hour, we got our 20 to cross above our 200 and our 50. And our 50 is about to cross the 200 as well. So that's about to be a very, very bullish sign here on the 4-hour. So we did fall underneath our 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. And we got a V-shaped recovery and absolutely ripped after bouncing off of it. And last time we had that was around that same time period where we ran up roughly at 35%. So we have seen this before. Let's see how it plays out. It doesn't always have to play out the same. Hopefully it plays out even better than last time. And last time was a very good outcome. And global liquidity continues to rise. So we are looking pretty good right now in terms of just the general direction. I'm not even trying to line this up. The general direction looks very good. So we'll see where things take us from here. But it should be to much higher levels. MSTR divided by Bitcoin, we're slowly pushing up higher. We started the day off a little bit higher and then we pushed down a little bit. But MSTR is doing pretty well against Bitcoin overall, at least in this last period from May 28th till now. We had a 4.7% day. Actually, it's showing that it was actually red, underperformed, but it would probably make more sense if, let's see, MSTR divided by IBIT, because it all depends on, it might not be the same. Okay, yeah, this makes more sense. Okay, so yeah, it was a green day, like I said initially. The reason MSTR divided by Bitcoin is red is because Bitcoin's price continues to move, while MSTR, it's going to be with what it closed with, so it's not going to really count. So that's why this one's green, and that's why MSTR divided by Bitcoin is red. That's the only reason why, because Bitcoin took off in after hours, and MSTR it went up with it, but it's not going to reflect on this chart yet. So anyways, MSTR outperformed Bitcoin today, which is awesome. That's what we wanted to see. It's a good sign. We're headed in the right direction right now. And we love to see this on the Tether Dominance. We love to see that downward action. We were saying this was going to be a key level of resistance. It looked like it played out exactly. We got only one retest and shot right back down. And now we're closing potentially. Well, it's still the beginning of the week, but we have 6 days left. But we're already underneath this level. And if we can get a close here on this weekly within this range, then we're almost guaranteed to at least touch this range. It doesn't mean that we're going to break it, but we could touch it. But once you touch it, now you're flirting with the idea of continuing through it, potentially retesting and going down further, which would ignite a rally for Bitcoin. So this is playing out very, very well right now. We'll see where it takes us though in the upcoming weeks and months. but price action is looking very good. If we do start to chop, it would probably be around 4.5. And if we can break through all of these wicks here, then we see this 4.4 to 4.36 level. And another key aspect that we were speaking of for that resistance, why we were pretty strong on this being resistance, was because of the weekly SMAs, the 20 and the 50 combined. As you can see, it was right above price, and it shot price right back down almost instantly. And here on the daily, kind of similar. You had the 50, we closed above it, and we closed right underneath it instantly, and now we pushed back down. And on the daily, we closed underneath the 50 and the 20 and the 200. So this is extremely bullish for Bitcoin. So we really haven't had a significant close underneath the 200. We had this move here where we closed underneath it, but nothing came out of it. When you look back, we had one close underneath it, and it pushed right back up. So this one wasn't significant. This one we had a little bit of a move, but it wasn't very significant. The last time we had a durable move underneath the 200-day SMA on Tether Dominance, it was a massive rally for Bitcoin. Not saying that's going to happen, because nothing's guaranteed. But the last time we got a very durable breakout to the downside underneath the 200 specifically was here in November 2024. So whenever you get a very aggressive, durable breakdown, you can see you get large gains. So they're very, very obvious when they start to drop down aggressively. As you can see, we really didn't even get one here. This one doesn't even really count. It ended up being kind of like a little inverse head and shoulders, and we'll see where we go from here. But I think if we can break this 4.37 level, we can see something maybe not as big as this drop, but we can see a pretty significant drop to the downside. From this point, I could see us hitting 3.97 or something like that, which would be a pretty significant drop. That's a 13% drop. Last time we broke this 200 with this significant move, just like that first 7 days, that first week was roughly a 20% drop, and then it ended up dropping a total of 30%. That was a huge rally for Bitcoin. So a 30% drop, I don't think we're going to get that, because that would take us way down here, which does not, it wouldn't align with what we have here. But you never know. We could push past it and then wick back above, and then maybe that's a quick move on Bitcoin, and we spike up and then we come back down on Bitcoin. For anybody who hasn't seen this, Tether Dominance has an inverse correlation to Bitcoin. So as this drops, Bitcoin goes up. So as you can see, these tops, the red circle, you can see that that's the top for Bitcoin here on the pink line. Bitcoin's the pink line, and you can see it topped right here when this touched here, that red dot. The red dot here was a local top. We topped. Same thing here. Then the double peak here in March 2024. And then we had one here in January and November. We kind of were playing with that level. So we could potentially see something like that again. We'll see where things take us, of course. But this is looking pretty good right now. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section. Super thanks is available if you feel generous and you want to tip for these videos. Like and subscribe, share with a friend. I'll see you guys in the next one.